Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in today's episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session created for a client that didn't feel safe when they were outside of familiar environments. They grew up in quite a unsettled environment at home, lots of volatility, lots of unpredictability. And back when this client was a child, they had a blanket, and lots of children have comfort blankets that gives them a feeling of safety. What you're going to hear in this hypnosis session is a metaphorical version of a comfort blanket that is possible to be utilized in any environment and doesn't need to be physical. Because if you think about why a comfort blanket works, it's an anchor. It is believed to be the case that the blanket creates a feeling of safety and protection, and a blanket is a symbolism for protection and comfort. So therefore, an imaginary one, which is kind of enhanced because you can do more in your imagination than you can do with the physics of reality, is designed to create a link between an idea of safety and protection and the knowledge that a historical comfort blanket only facilitated resources that were already there. And that's just one step away from not needing even an imaginary comfort blanket. I think if you're listening to this, it's probably because you would benefit from a sense of feeling safe, of protected. And if you think about anxiety is the evaluation at some level that you're not safe or there's a threat. So this energy blanket of protection and connection will help people, whether you have underlying anxiety or restless sleep. I think you'll benefit a lot from this. If you want something a bit more customized, there's always the option to schedule a free 30-minute consultation call with me, and I can explore what it would be like to work with you directly. But for now, what you might find is this either helps you to sleep well or indeed helps you to feel more confident in any unfamiliar environments or situations. So find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow feelings of any worry, tension, or stress to leave your body in your outward breath, enabling you to go deeper and deeper relaxed, simply by breathing in and breathing out. As you breathe in and breathe out, just get a sense that tension is natural. To stand up requires tension in your back and your legs. To move your body, you need tension in your shoulders, your arms. But here, right now, this tension is not necessary. So as you breathe in that resourceful feeling of relaxation, just allow that feeling of tension, wherever it may be, to leave your body in your outward breath. That's it. Deeper and deeper. Relaxed. I want you to hold an image in your mind of a golden cage. The kind of cage, perhaps, that they used to transport animals from one zoo to another zoo, or in between a circus. And I want you to hold the image of a golden cage and see the shininess of the gold. And I want you to imagine that you can see yourself in the golden cage, holding a blanket. Maybe you can see yourself from childhood, or maybe you can see yourself at your current age. But there you are, trapped in the golden cage, holding a white blanket with cartoon characters. I want you to get a sense that there were two things that you believed were keeping you safe back then. The cage kept other things out, but it also kept you in. So why would you stay in the golden cage? Simply because it was familiar. I want you to get a sense that sometimes, whether it's humans in prisons or animals in zoos, they become institutionalized, so familiar with their surroundings that even when freedom is possible, they would rather stay with the familiarity of their confined space than have the uncertainty of a world full of adventure. So I want you to see yourself there in that golden cage. And occasionally you would leave that golden cage. But when you did, especially as a child, you needed the blanket. And I want you to imagine seeing yourself leave the golden cage, perhaps to going somewhere else, and how insistent you were on taking that blanket with you. You remember the feeling of the fabric in your hands, the texture, the warmth when it was on your skin, the smell. And I want you to get a sense that back then as a child you thought it was the blanket that was keeping you safe. And perhaps it's only more recently that you realize the blanket was just a portal into feelings of safety and protection and trust from you to you. But notice that back then it still worked. And it worked because that blanket was an anchor, a trigger, a key to unlock feelings of safety and assurance within yourself. And back then, the only way to escape the golden cage was to carry the blanket. But the world is a big, beautiful place. So why choose to stay in the zoo if you can explore the forests, the jungles, and the plains? I want you to imagine a star in the center of the universe. Perhaps a star that's 1,000 times bigger than the sun. And I want you to imagine that you're traveling through galaxies until you arrive at this star in the center of the universe. And I want you to imagine that you're traveling into the center of this star. And you can see people from your past that you feel you have an incredible connection with. And they don't need to be alive. They can be people from the past that you believe protected you. And perhaps people that you feel that you can still feel their presence. There in the glowing, gigantic star in the middle of the universe, I want you to imagine that these people that kept you safe and tried to protect you are giving you something powerful. This isn't a real blanket they're giving you. This is a blanket from the quantum realm that doesn't need to exist in the physics of reality. This is infinitely more powerful than that. This is a blanket of energy from the universe. It can change shape, change color, change fabric. And I want you to imagine these people that you have this incredible connection with are giving you, there in the middle of this gigantic sun in the middle of the universe, this magical blanket of energy. Feel the fabric in your fingers and feel that as you drape it over your shoulders, covering your body, you feel this wonderful feeling of feeling safe, feeling protected, feeling relaxed. I want you to imagine this blanket can get larger or smaller as you need. And I want you to imagine that this blanket can glow with different colors, each color giving you a different feeling. If it glows white, perhaps it can feel that it's healing you from the inside. Maybe if it's glowing yellow, you can feel that this blanket of energy is giving you a feeling of relaxation, calm, and tranquility to help you sleep at night. Maybe if it glows purple, it means something else, like inner strength, trust from you to you. And I want you to experiment with this blanket of energy. Different colors create different feelings, giving you different emotional resources. And here, while we're in the center of the universe, I want you to bring forth your father. Not your actual father, but the universe's representation of your father. And I want you to imagine that you're speaking with your father, saying whatever needs to be said to resolve issues of the past. Maybe that's understanding, forgiveness, acceptance. Maybe you need a question answered. Maybe you need to share a current reality of your situation. But I want you to imagine doing it in this safe place, still having that blanket protecting you, around you. Say whatever needs to be said until it feels like issues of the past are melting away. Imagine your father disappearing, and now a representation of your sister is there in this glowing ball of energy in the center of the universe. And again, say whatever needs to be said forgiveness, acceptance. Maybe you need to apologize for things that you did. Whatever needs to be said can be said in this safe environment. And as you reconcile the past, you open up portals of wonderful possibilities for the future. And then imagine your sister disappears. And you're just left with you and these people that provided you with a blanket. And I want you to thank them for their gift. Hug them, say goodbye. And they also disappear. So now it's just you in the center of the universe with this magical blanket of energy. And I want you to imagine here in the center of the universe creating a place that you wouldn't normally choose to sleep at night. But you want to test this blanket of energy. So I want you to imagine that you're there in that place from the first person perspective, seeing what you would see if you were sleeping in that place. And realizing that here with this imaginary blanket, keeping you safe, keeping you connected, feeling protected. Perhaps things that you used to need, you don't need here. And you feel so sleepy and relaxed, and you can feel that you can drift off into a deep sleep. I want you to feel that this blanket is acting like a guardian angel, protecting you, alerting you if you need alerting, restoring your health, energy, vitality. This blanket of energy from the universe can intuitively give you whatever you need it most. If you lose it, just by thinking about it, it reappears. Just imagining it on you makes you feel like it's on you. You can feel the weight of it, the texture of it, the energy that it emits. You are safe, secure, protected, and with this blanket of energy, there is nowhere that you can't go. The world is your oyster. You can take this anywhere. On a bus, on a train, on an aeroplane, in a youth hostel, in a luxury hotel, on the sofa of a friend, or in a beautiful bed. This blanket is a manifestation of your unconscious ability to make you feel held and safe, protected, connected, giving you what it used to require other things, perhaps pills or ideas or people or places. And I want you to accept the suggestion that this blanket of energy enables you to leave the golden cage, and I want you to go back to thinking of that golden cage, but see yourself at the age you are right now, with that wonderful blanket of energy draped over your shoulders, and look at how confidently you can leave that golden cage and walk to wherever you want, to sleep wherever you want, to travel anywhere in the world wherever you want, because you are unlocking the resources to deal with life's demands, enabling you to sleep better than ever before, feeling safe, protected, connected, and relaxed. I want you to imagine returning to the present, but feeling like that blanket is with you. All you need to do is imagine it, and it's there. As you take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, get a sense that all parts back in the present, here, right now, but you are now connected with an intrinsic resource to feel capable, resourceful, and protected. Finally able to live life on your terms and to escape the golden cage. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake. Wide awake. Wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.